Hey everybody, thanks for tuning back into Crypto Mainly. My name's Lee. Sorry I've not done a video for the last couple of days. But all that I can say is that the last couple of days has been some of the most disturbing, sad and completely bizarre times in my life. So I'm sorry that I haven't been around, but I won't go into the detail of it because it's quite depressing. So moving on swiftly, thank you ever so much for 174 subscribers. We've got 4,000 views, 304 hours of watch time, all within the course of just over a month. So I'm really pleased with the way the channel's going. So thanks ever so much for that, guys. My NFTs are still on sale. The link is in the description below. So you can get them either on Opensea or on Rarible. So thanks for your interest in that. So let's jump straight into the content. Rather doomy, gloomy content by the looks of things, but as I say, all things which were to be expected, actually. So hopefully some of you managed to heed the warnings and and not suffer too much from this move from the top here. But I've mentioned previously that we're going to get some kind of WA action at the bottom here. But I also mentioned that I thought we were going to see some lower prices. So let's just have a little zoom into there. So as you can see here, the blue box at the bottom here, so this area here, let me just grab my highlighter. Okay, so this blue box area here is the 78.6 to the 88.6 retracement. So the measure from that is actually from the low here to the high, which is up here. So from the low here down to the high here, this 78.6 and the 88.6 retracement is what represents this blue box area here, and sure enough, as suspected, that's where we've ended up. We actually have made it to the bottom of the blue box area, which you'll recall is that 38,800 area that we've been talking about for a number of days now on the channel. And if we look on the larger time frame, that area, the 38,800 is exactly on that support, which has been going back for a long period of time. So just to give you an idea just how significant this support line is that I've drawn on this chart, just to give you an idea and make it a little clearer why that's so significant, is if we go back all the way to the course, as you can see, it's actually acted as resistance all the way back here, which is actually the 8th of February 2020. So 2 years ago. And also you can see that when it broke through here, it actually came back down and retested the resistance as support. And as you can see, it's bounced along at support at a number of times up to the collection of retests that we've got now currently. So I'm sorry these charts are getting a little bit scribbly, guys. They are charts that I trade with each and every day, so they do get a little bit busy. But I'm sorry that it's from a presentation point of view. I'm going to have to think of something to make this clearer and make it more a nicer thing for you to be looking at. So apologies for that. We mentioned this big blue triangle in the past. That was the when everybody was waiting for this breakout of 45,000. So that's where the big blue triangle comes from. We also spoke about when we get into this top range that we actually, rather than looking at this big blue triangle, we would actually be looking at this. We should actually be looking at this rising wedge. So all eyes, as it were on this blue large triangle here. So all eyes, social media, Twitter, and things were all looking at the triangle, and we were looking at this rising channel here, which of course we've got the rejection from there. And if you were just to consider this as a rising channel, it's quite clear that we came back up, retested the top of the rising channel, and now have come back down and simply just testing the bottom of that rising channel here now. So as you can see, we have come all the way back down to the base of that rising channel here. We are right on the rising channel now. You've got a very, very small wick already today just below. And we spoke yesterday about us perhaps coming into this area here. So if I just move that down a little bit, so we were expecting the price to come into this range here maybe even come back down to the bottom and get a bounce somewhere from the lower part of that range. So this dotted line here is the 37. If we have a look over there, you can see that it's the purple number 37,400. And what that is basically a measure on a smaller time frame of a head and shoulders pattern here. And for that to play out, we're looking at 37,400, which coincidentally, or not so coincidentally, if you draw the wicks, if you join up the lows from the wick here to this wick here on these previous liquidity hunts, you'll notice that actually there's an intersection here between the 37,400 and joining up these wick lows. So I wouldn't be at all surprised to see another liquidity hunt, something similar to this one. This first one is a little different because it's the result of a sudden price surge to the downside, and as you can see, we've got the bounce here, whereas the one at the moment is probably a little bit more like this one here, where you've got bounces along this lower support line. So you've got 1, 2, 3 days of bouncing along, and then on the third day you've got this big liquidity hunt down to the bottom there. So what do I mean by liquidity hunt? Well, basically what I mean by that is the price is looking like it's holding on support here for, as I say, for a number of days. So it's bounced once, twice, 3, and then on the 4th day you get this huge wick down. And what I mean by liquidity hunt is the people that are looking at the support as holding are starting to take long positions here with stop losses below the support somewhere down here. So you can imagine people, let me just draw a something to represent that. So you can imagine people here, we're right on support there, and you can imagine that some people are starting to take long positions with their stop loss below this support line, obviously with varying degrees of targets and things. But obviously what's happened is it's bounced along on support, and then you get this huge wick down. So what that wick will have done, which we call it a liquidity hunt, because it's dipped down a huge amount. In fact, if like from the point of support there to the bottom of the range, that's somewhere in the region of almost $3,000 there. So as you can see from that measuring tool, the number on the top left of that measuring tool there is 2,800. So from the point where the breakdown happened, it's come down nearly $3,000 and bounced back up into the same pattern, all on the very same day. Now that is basically the market makers have put a huge sell order whilst we're at support to push the price right the way down, take out all the stops for the people that were going long here, before eventually taking out the stops and then actually carrying on and going to continuing to the upside as suspected. So I think a similar thing's going to happen here, guys. So to be very careful and watch for that. If you're taking a long position, wait until you see something like this. Okay, it's not 100% guaranteed that we'll get this happen and then the bounce. It could happen that we get this wick down, it bounces along the bottom of support, and then the bottom support breaks down and it continues further down. So just be prepared for that as well. You've got to be a bit careful about that. But that's what I'm looking for in my own personal trading. I'm going to be watching for this wick somewhere into this region here where this little blue circle is. And if we get any kind of movement down in here, then I will be starting to open long positions in this vicinity, with a view, and obviously a stop loss below this lower rising support line here. So my stop will be down below this one, with a view to seeing a quick wick down, bounce back up, and then the continuation that we're looking for. So you can see from this blue line that I drew when we were up here, it was looking like we'd already bounced from these supports here, and we're starting to continue upwards. But as you'll recall from the previous video, I said that I'm expecting it to roll over, come back down and retest this support. Because of the way that the pattern has formed here, let me just show you what I'm talking about. So because of the way that the patterns form there, you know, that's what made me move the target down, as it were, because, you know, firstly I was talking about this support here, and now I'm talking about a move down into this area. And the reason for that is obviously every minute that goes by we're gathering data. You can see here that the price did try to break above this descending support which we were watching, and this, you know, this bearish divergence which was forming here. You can see that the price did break through. It came back down and retested, bounced a little bit, but has actually rolled over even further now. And you can see from these lines at the bottom here, you know, the RSI is starting to creep down. You know, this actual bearish divergence has not been confirmed yet until you know, we get below this until the, you know, the RSI gets below this dotted line. But as you can see, it's creeping its way down there. If you do get below that dotted line, that will be confirmed bearish divergence, and, you know, and we'll get an accelerated move of some sort. So if we do get down and below the valley of this RSI on the 4-hour time frame, we will see something like this, where you get this wick, something similar to that, and we'll get it down. It'll be fast and furious, in my opinion. Obviously, you know, there'll be a lot of buying going on in this area here, and I think that the bounce is going to be quick, and it's going to continue to the upside from there. Ethereum, just have a look at the Ethereum chart. Once again, we spoke about, you know, price was here on the Ethereum chart, and you know, as I said here, look, I think we're going to come back down and retest this support line here, and it's actually, you know, you see this arrow here. The arrow is the measured move from the top of the wick there to the bottom being an AB, and then you've got your CD here. So if I just move that arrow to the top there, you can see. So from the top of the wick, up here, down to the low of the wick down here. So I'll just move that down very slightly. It's just not quite in the right place. So yeah, so the very top of the peak of the wick at the top there, down to the base of the wick here is the AB, and then we move it across, you know, from the high of this high here down to the bottom. So you've got your AB equals CD move, and sure enough, look, we're back on support. It's completed the ABCD move. We're back on support now. This is looking like we're gonna, you know, we're starting to get a bounce and support again here. The same as as this one here. So we're right on support here again. But again, you know, if we get that wick down with Bitcoin, we may see a sudden wick down here just below support, and then a bounce off, and then we'll be off to the races, in my opinion. I think we're going to have get this, you know, because it's holiday season. We're still in a holiday. It's bank holiday today. You know, it's low volume. Low volume can be manipulated more easily by the big players. So I do think that it would make sense that just to end this holiday period today, we'll get this big wick down, and then we'll get the similar same thing on Ethereum. But I do still think that we're going to get the bounce quickly, and the bounce and recovery is going to be, you know, supported by buying volume, and we're going to get the continuation then up to at least the, you know, to the top side of the range, and we'll see what happens when we get here. And Ethereum will bounce, and once again we'll be back up to the, you know, 3,500 levels again before we know it. And, you know, and we'll see what happens when we get back up there. So obviously I'll do another video prior to that. But yeah, thanks very much for your patience, guys. I'm sorry about not being doing a video last couple of days. Hopefully this is helping and shedding some light and helping to steer you along through what's happening with the price action of the Bitcoin at the moment. And of course, Bitcoin being king, it will affect the rest of the market as well. So hopefully it's helping you with making some decisions on the altcoins positions that you have, and whether you're holding or selling or buying. But of course, make your own decisions. I'm not a financial advisor. I'm not qualified to give you financial advice or to tell you what to do with your money. This is for entertainment purposes only. But hopefully you're enjoying the content, and it's looking like you are, because the channel is growing. More subscribers, more views per day. Everything's going in the right direction. So thanks ever so much, guys. I really appreciate that, and thank you for the nice comments as well, which I read and respond to each and every day. So Thanks, guys. All the best now. Take care. I'll speak to you tomorrow. Always remember, guys, take profits and buy something real. All the best.